Howdy y'all, it's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful. Oh, look at that sky. Atlanta, Georgia. Today is February the 24th. It's actually a Saturday, 2024. And on today's video, I'm going to be changing oil in the push mowers. I have 3 push mowers that I need to get new oil into in preparation from the season. The purpose of this video is going to be to show you how to do the oil change, including the filter, of the bad boy 21-inch commercial mower, also known as a Ybravo 21-inch, I believe it's Gen 2 commercial mower. Now this mower is it's actually made by Ybravo. It's the identical mower. It's just orange instead of silver. It's got the Kawasaki FJ180V, and this does have the oil filter on it. It is the commercial push mower engine. I'm gonna tell you guys, every time I move this mower, it is unbelievable how incredibly smooth and solid this mower feels. Now, this is a heavy mower, don't get me wrong, but it feels like a Swiss watch. Now, my favorite mower is this mower right here. This is my Honda HRX217 with the 190 GCV 190 engine. This mower is lighter. It cuts a tiny bit better than the Ybravo. I just like that mower. Cuts my yard super good. This mower right here only has, I think it's 4.4 hours. That's it. I bought this last year. You can watch the video. I originally bought a Honda HRX 217 with the 200 engine. I had problems with that everybody was having problems with. Like, I used it I think 4 times, and the camshaft issue that Honda had, they've since corrected that, but I had to have a mower, so I went and bought this. My dealer pretty much gave me what I paid for the mower and applied that to this mower. So I have this mower. This is basically a backup. Hopefully I'll use it more this year, at least in my yard. And then right after that, I bought a HRX 216 from one of my customers. That's actually in the box truck. That's what I use on my 2 yards that I have to go into the backyard. But anyway, I have given the 217 over to retirement, so he just cuts my yard. And at the same time, I was able to buy a brand spanking new engine for the 217. Whenever that engine dies, I have a brand spanking new one in the factory box or crate, you want to call it, in the house. So I plan to keep that mower running at least as long as I'm alive. All right, so I'm going to show you the easy way to do the oil change on this. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take the dipstick out right there, and I'm going to use, this is my Mighty Vac. I have used this. This is the way I change oil in the mowers now, because it is so much less messy. So I'm just going to grab a couple paper towels here, and let's use the trim star here as a platform. That's not cool. I'm shooting into the light. Let's turn this around. That'll be better. Okay. Now everybody can see. So I'm just going to take the dipstick out, just like that. And I've already warmed the mower up. I ran it for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to insert this in here. I'm going to create a vacuum. That oil doesn't get any cleaner. Now, I have found that doing it this way, as opposed to either turning the mower on its side, or like on these mowers that have the drain plug the actual drain fitting here, I can get more oil out if I extract it through here. And I verified that with using my borescope. I did it this way, saw how much oil was left down in there, and then I was able to get additional oil using the Mighty Vac. So I recommend that if you're doing mowers, that you invest in one of these. I use it all the time. I've had this one probably for 10 years. If you want, you can tilt it on its side. But that's pretty much it. Alright. Let me get the mower swapped back around and we'll do the oil filter. Alright, so I get people asking me all the time why I have magnets on the oil filter. When I take this off and we're done with the oil change, I'm going to cut this filter open for you guys and let you see why I have the magnets on here. You can just, I just pull the magnets off. And this right here is called a PIG pad, P-I-G pad. I'll put a link in Amazon. These things are phenomenal. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try not to make a mess. I'm going to unscrew the filter as fast as I can. And this basically will just catch all the oil and absorb it. That's what these are designed for. They're designed for oil spills and doing things just like this. Okay. So what this does is, it is some kind of, I don't know what kind of material it is, but it works wonderfully to sop up oil spills. You could use some paper towels or whatever, but as you see, it didn't even come through. So I have a brand new Kawasaki oil filter here. It is specifically for the FJ180V. There's the part number if you want to freeze it. It's 490650724. And this engine takes 29 ounces if you're changing the filter, which you should. So I'm going to take the oil off camera here and I'm going to pre-fill it a little bit into the filter, just enough so that it's going to soak into the filter media. It'll just take less time for the actual oil itself to build pressure. And I'm putting a little bit of oil on the this surface right here is where the gasket goes. So okay, so that's what those are. Wonderful, wonderful things. You know what? I got a little too much oil in there, so I'm going to do it just like this. Okay. All right. And that's all there is to it. And then, of course, we're going to cut this open because who doesn't want to see inside of an oil filter? And we'll see if there are any contaminants from the engine breaking in. Now the manual states that you need to change the oil first at 8 hours and then every 50 hours thereafter, but because it's the beginning of the season, I'm going to go ahead and that's why I'm changing it now. And let me dump this out. Well, I'm going to let that drain out in just a minute. I'm going to put 29 ounces of oil in here. I'm not going to show that. And then we'll cut the oil filter open and see what's inside. Alright, so I've got our long acre filter cutter. Link is down in the description. I use this all the time. And it's so easy to use. You just take your filter, put this on there, tighten the handle till it just comes in contact. And then You just twist it around. Every time I go around, I'm tightening the handle just a little more. There's a cutter wheel in there, and it is slicing into the side of this. And the reason that you want to use one of these instead of trying to butcher it with a cutter wheel or something like that on like a grinder is because you don't want to put contaminants in there, and this wheel, because it's not producing shavings, it's not going to do that. So once it's done and open, just take the tool off, and here is the cap. Let this drain a little bit. Now what I'm looking for is this is called the head. Here's the anti-drain back valve, which is appears to be silicone. Kawasaki filters are really very good filters. And I'm gonna look inside the pleats, and I'm looking for any shiny metallic, basically particles. Now there will be some sometimes for break-in, but you don't want to see big chunks of metal. And this engine only has 4 hours on it. I'm not seeing anything that concerns me. So now let me show you guys something else. I'm gonna dump this out right here, this oil. There's the spring in the bottom. We'll dump it out, and hopefully the camera will pick up. All right, you can see in the very bottom, see that ring? See that? That's iron particles. That's where the magnet was. You can see right there, that's where another one of the magnets were. So it costs nothing to put magnets on there, but as you can see, it does grab some of the filings and iron particles that would normally pass right through the filter. So any machine that I have that has an oil filter, all the vehicles, all the mowers, I put magnets on everything. I think it's just good. It's just good business because it doesn't, it's passive system, and it really does help, as you can see. So anyway, guys, hopefully that helps and encourages you to put some magnets on anything that you have with a spin-on canister filter. Most of the cartridge filters, you're on your own because a lot of those are plastic, and it's just this part right here that you're replacing in the canister. It stays on the vehicle. But yeah, this filter looks fine. I would expect nothing less after 4 hours. And like I said, every time I do an oil change on anything that has an oil filter, I'm using my oil filter cutter to inspect it, because you'll be able to see a problem a lot of times way before you would know there's a problem. So anyway, with that being said, guys, I will talk to you on the next video.